This painting draws you into a quiet moment in the countryside, a scene seemingly untouched by time, where light dances gently across grazing cattle.
My mother and father-in-law were trying to furnish a second home. This was about 40 years ago, so everything's a little sketchy, but they bought this and a couple other paintings at a flea market somewhere in the New York area. And then it stayed in this apartment, and when we dismantled it, we saw it and have been a little curious about it from that point on.
The painting is signed by Edward M. Bannister and dated 1879. It's the work of one of 19th century America's most accomplished African-American artists. Bannister was celebrated for his tonalist landscapes, his subtle command of light and color, and his pioneering role in a period of significant racial barriers.
One of the reasons he's famous, he was the first African-American artist to come to national prominence, and the first to win a national award, in fact. And he had an interesting background. He was born in New Brunswick in Canada in 1828. Just shortly after that, the British abolished slavery in the provinces. And he had always had an interest in drawing and painting from a young age.
Despite social challenges, he exhibited widely in both the United States and Canada, earning the respect of critics and collectors alike. In this piece, his mastery is clear. Earthy greens, browns, muted blues, and warm ochres blend seamlessly to evoke a serene, reflective mood. Minor scratches hint at its age, but they do nothing to diminish its impact or desirability. Bannister's works are a rare treasure, sought after by collectors who value both their artistry and historical significance. In its present condition, this painting would be worth,
I would say $6,000 to $10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. His work really is very much in demand, particularly amongst collectors of African-American art.
When we were cleaning out this apartment, we came this close to tossing it in a dumpster because it was sort of like, what's this? It wasn't canvas, it wasn't,
Glad you didn't.
That is just incredible.
Even before a word is read, these letters radiate the weight of decades of debate, theory, and psychological exploration. The guest's husband's aunt, while studying art at Ohio University, corresponded directly with two towering figures of modern psychology, Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung.
And she, being an art student, was going to write about mentally ill artwork. She wrote to Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud and received a reply from both of them. After Aunt Bernice passed away, I picked up one of her books to take home, the writings of Sigmund Freud, and inside the book was an envelope with these letters and the article inside of them. It was kind of fun to find the surprise inside the book.
Freud, the Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist, is regarded as the father of psychoanalysis, while Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and founder of analytical psychology, developed theories that continue to shape psychology, philosophy, and even art today. Accompanying the letters is a newspaper clipping titled The Mad Nijinsky, a piece on Russian ballet dancer and choreographer Vaslav Nijinsky, celebrated as one of the greatest male dancers of all time.
What was happening here in this article is there was a Leggett gallery in New York at the Waldorf Astoria, and they were exhibiting some of his paintings. They obviously wanted to sell the paintings. Well, within it, they said these were so important that Freud and Jung had made comments and appreciated the paintings.
Nijinsky's brilliance was tragically cut short in 1919 when he suffered a severe mental breakdown and was diagnosed with schizophrenia, spending much of the rest of his life in and out of asylums. In her letter to Freud, the guest's aunt inquired about the article's accuracy, eliciting a personal reply.
Did you see them? Did you like them? And Freud writes back, I never saw Nijinsky. He was never a patient of mine. I've never seen his artwork. This is the original letter. It's in German. But someone in 1933, when these were written, translated it into English. And basically he's saying, you can never believe what you see in the press.
She also wrote to Jung, who responded by reflecting on his own encounters with Nijinsky.
He believes that he saw Nijinsky as a patient during the war. Now, of course, he was referring to World War I, which would have been the right date. And he says he was schizophrenic, he was essentially catatonic, and there was no way that he could even have a conversation, and he never saw his artwork, so he has no comment to make, but he's saying Van Gogh was a much better example, and maybe you want to study that.
These remarkable letters linking Freud, Jung, and Nijinsky are more than correspondence. They're tangible connections to the intellectual and artistic currents that shaped the early 20th century. At auction today, they would be valued at
Would be for the two letters $15,000 to $20,000.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's wonderful. I think I'm going to have to preserve these a little bit better than just leaving them folded in the envelopes.
There's something uniquely charming about vintage costume jewelry. This exquisite jewelry was inherited by the guest from her godmother, a performer in the 1920s to the 1940s. Her godmother, part of a twin act, entertained troops and children, showcasing these pieces. The set, known as parure, includes several matching pieces of jewelry.
When we have 3 or more pieces to a set, it's called a parure. That's a French term.
Though unsigned, the craftsmanship suggests it might be the work of Miriam Haskell, a notable New York City designer. Miriam Haskell. Haskell's designs often featured rose Monty rhinestones and a special gold color known as Russian gold.
And she did not sign every piece she did, but she created pieces like this.
This set's aquamarine and yellow beads and the intricate hand-wired construction are signature Haskell elements. The memory wire bracelet remains flexible, fitting various wrist sizes comfortably. In today's market, if this set is confirmed as a Haskell creation, it could retail up to
Go up to $2,000 for the set.
Oh my gosh, for costume jewelry, but I know it's beautiful. I love it.
Very lucky.
Oh my gosh. Oh, my dad is smiling somewhere.
If you have ever listened to classic rock, blues, or even modern pop, chances are you've heard the unmistakable sound of Stratocaster. A guest exhibited a Stratocaster guitar that once belonged to his father.
He grew up in a family that had a lot of music in the home.
This particular guitar was crafted by the Fender Company in 1957. On the back, you can see its distinctive maple neck and a skunk stripe running down the center. The guitar features a striking black to yellow sunburst finish. On the front, there is a maple fingerboard and a non-laminated pickguard, secured with intact screws. Although the tremolo bar is missing, it can be easily replaced. This iconic instrument has been favored by guitar legends for decades and would be valued at
neighborhood of $15,000 to $17,000, and it's a nice.
Wow, that's a little bit more than we bought it back for.
It's a lot more than what you bought it back for.
This ring, a family heirloom, was sold by the guest during a financial crisis for $75 and later repurchased in 2005 for $400, about 8 years later. It is a platinum and diamond and is in the style of the 20th century, about the 1920s. The ring is from the Edwardian era, moving into Art Deco, and has elements of both eras. It has some open spaces, and the platinum and diamond are the Edwardian style. It's probably made on the East Coast, New York, because many jewelry manufacturers are there. In the middle is an old European cut diamond that weighs just short of half a carat. Also, on the sides, there are 2 rows of single-cut diamonds, possibly half a carat. Hence, in a retail market, this ring would be worth around
$1,800.
Wow, that's a little bit more than we bought it back for.
It's a lot more than what you bought it back for.
This 1903 Steiff Rod teddy bear is a rare and historically significant piece. It carries the unique legacy of early Steiff craftsmanship.
Well, it was my grandfather's. He grew up in LA, was born in 1902, and I don't know whether he was the original person that had it or whether it was even his father. I just don't know.
Steiff is renowned for its high-quality teddy bears and was founded in Germany by Margaret Steiff. This particular bear, however, stands out due to its rarity and distinctive features. It is one of the earliest examples of the Rod bear, introduced in 1903 and premiered at the Leipzig Toy Fair. Unlike later models, this bear features a complex internal structure with metal rods running through its body. The bear's gutta-percha nose, molded to resemble a real bear's nose, is a hallmark of this early model.
What's different about a rod bear is the head is a little bit lower, the ears are lower down, and the way the head sits on the torso is different. It's very distinct. It has the original 5-stitched claws.
It also has typical shoe button eyes, 5-stitched claws, original felt pads, and Excelsior stuffing, which has helped it retain its shape over the decades. The original clothing adds a unique charm and has helped preserve the bear's body in excellent condition.
$8,000 to $10,000.
Before the advent of CGI and digital tools, visual storytellers brought iconic visions to life through their mastery of brush and pencil. One such example is the artwork showcased here, presented by a guest who acquired it at an auction.
I was doing research on a project I was designing, and I looked them up online, and ironically this popped up at auction.
The painting was created in 1949 by Ward Kimball. Kimball was an American animator, known for his work at Walt Disney Animation Studios.
This is symbolic of the evolution from the past into the future. Disney pushed every boundary that he could have, and Ward Kimball was really with him every step of the way.
Outside of his job as an animator, Kimball was also a railroad enthusiast, as well as a talented jazz trombonist. This piece features whimsical figures rendered in vibrant colors, titled The Committee. This particular piece is an oil painting on board, and it remains in pristine condition. At auction, this painting, which epitomizes the early days of visual storytelling, would be valued at
$30,000 as insurance.
This Civil War Union Naval Surgeon's uniform is a cherished family heirloom belonging to the owner's great-great-grandfather. As a surgeon's coat from the United Navy, it stands out for its uniqueness and exceptional preservation. Crafted in Cincinnati, Ohio by T.W. Sprague, this uniform is made from a fine broadcloth and features a green silk lining. It showcases the distinctive medical captain's shoulder straps and a padded chest, reflecting the status and role of its original owner. Despite a few minor moth nips, the uniform is in remarkable condition, with its silk-corded keyhole buttonholes still intact. Although Civil War uniforms have seen fluctuations in market value, this piece still commands significant interest. The uniform's enduring quality and the story of its original owner make it a remarkable artifact from the Civil War era. In today's market, this uniform, due to its historical significance, would sell for
an estimate of $10,000 on it as a replacement cost. Wow.
These early 20th century oil paintings by Cullen Yates and Charles Courtney Curran hold a special place in the owner's family history, having been passed down through generations.
We're from my aunt's home in Toledo, Ohio. They had been handed down from her husband's uncle, who was also from Toledo. He was a physician who traveled the world.
Both artists originally hailed from Ohio, adding a unique connection to their provenance. September Sea by Cullen Yates depicts the picturesque Perkins Cove in Ogunquit, Maine. This vibrant scene, rich in brushwork and palette knife technique, captures the lively essence of the coastal landscape. Remarkably large for Yates, this painting stands out not only for its size, but also its detailed correspondence. Given its size, beauty, and documented history, this particular painting would auction for
Made around $20,000 to $30,000.
Oh my goodness, no!
The other piece, Wild Morning Glories by Charles Courtney Curran, epitomizes his renowned style, which features an attractive young woman bathed in sunlight amidst a lush garden. Curran, a contemporary of Yates, was known for his depictions of women in serene sunlit settings. However, due to its market desirability and stunning portrayal, this painting would sell for
Of $40,000 to $60,000, and it might even do above that.
Oh my!
It's remarkable how artisans employ traditional techniques to craft these stunning bracelets. The bracelets were inherited by this guest from her great-grandmother. These two tribes resided in the United States in an area called Four Corners region. One bracelet was made by the Navajo tribe and the other by the Zuni tribe. One of the bracelets is adorned with green turquoise stones, each of which was intricately set by hand. As a significant part of Navajo culture, this bracelet holds a value of
probably $250 to $300.
The second bracelet showcases a large green turquoise stone at its center as a testament to the Zuni tribe's craftsmanship. This piece is estimated to be worth
$800 to $1,200.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, I love this bracelet.
What we have here is an unusual piece in the form of a bottle with colored sand. Andrew Clemens, a young man from McGregor, Iowa, became renowned in the late 1800s for his intricate sand art. This bottle, a Civil War-era gift to the guest's great-grandfather, featured intricate designs, including an eagle with a 36-star flag, a mortar and pestle, and the script of his great-grandfather's name. Clemens, who was deaf, attended the Deaf Mute School in Iowa and began collecting and working with local sand during his summers.
By the time he was about 17, he was really into it, and from 17 on until he died, he was basically working with this colored sand that he was collecting locally.
He used a fish hook and a popsicle stick to create his detailed scenes inside the bottles.
The Iowa State Museum has Clemens's masterpiece bottle, which he made for his mother, that has George Washington on horseback.
Clemens bottles, once modestly priced, have seen their market value soar. His work remains a testament to his unique talent, and this piece is worth
Between $4,000 and $6,000 is what we'd estimate. It might bring more than that in the right auction. Great piece.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? My word.
This piece of metal shown here is a masterpiece of history because of its background. It is an elevator grill from the Chicago Stock Exchange. This highly durable elevator grill was created by the father of skyscrapers, Louis Sullivan. Louis Sullivan was considered by many to be a great modern architect, and this grill confirms that.
Sullivan was one of America's greatest architects. His big claim to fame was that he was the teacher of Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yes.
But in his own right, he was the father of modern architecture in America.
The elevator grill represents one of the earliest styles of modern architecture. These grills are quite rare because of their maker and the materials they were made from. The elevator grill was created in 1894 from finely made stainless steel. If this highly durable grill was to sell at an auction in today's market, it would fetch nothing less than
In the $20,000 to $30,000 range.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? My word.
These two figures would be a dream come true for any antique collector. A close look reveals that the figures are made from gold, which is a rare and valuable element. It can also be seen that the figures are made through expert craftsmanship. These figures are known as pre-Columbian gold figures.
We have some pre-Columbian gold from the Veraguas area in Panama.
As real as they look, it is likely that one of them is a reproduction. Further testing reveals that, contrary to what many might believe, the little animal is the reproduction.
We tested this one, it's actually gold plate. So when we tested it, the outside, the plate was 14, we flipped it over, it's a plated piece.
Thus, it can be said that the oddly looking figure is the real pre-Columbian gold item. At an auction, the authentic pre-Columbian gold figure would surely fetch a price of
Is $3,000 to $5,000.
Wow. That's amazing.
Tucked away for over 5 decades in the guest's family basement, this remarkable oil painting by Sanford Robinson Gifford has a story as captivating as the artwork itself. Painted in 1858, this piece is a stunning example of Gifford's mastery of art. He was a Hudson River School artist and a leading figure in the Luminist movement.
Gifford was born in 1823 and he died in 1880. In the mid-1850s, he went to Europe, and this is a view of Italy.
As seen, this painting expresses the sublime beauty of nature through light. Though the canvas is obscured by years of dirt, the brilliance of the Italian landscape it depicts shines through. The scene, complete with shepherds and ancient ruins, confirms its European origins. This hidden gem bears the artist's signature, faintly visible in the lower left corner, affirming its authenticity and historical importance. Given that it is a cherished piece of art for any collector or art enthusiast, it is valued at
$300,000.
That's amazing.
This comic strip is one for the ages because it represents one of the oldest comics ever. The comic, called Dick Tracy, tells the story of a police detective. This particular strip was created in 1932 as a parting gift to one of the artist's employees. Dick Tracy is one of the most famous strips in American history and was created by Chester Gould. For an item created in 1932, the condition of the strip is excellent.
I said, what am I going to do with all of this? I don't want it. You take it. And then we thought, well, what are we going to do with all this stuff?
The strip is also signed by Chester, which automatically increases its value. What's special about this particular strip is that it's likely one of the only 1932 dailies in existence. This strip is quite rare, and at a suitable auction, it would fetch nothing less than.
You have $1,600 just to scrap gold. But
Different looking type of lawn furniture in itself entirely. This rocking chair was meticulously handcrafted in the 1920s by the guest's grandfather, George C. Hyde, who was known affectionately as Ted. George C. Hyde. Ted Hyde, born in 1899, was a master craftsman whose ambidextrous skills enabled him to produce an extraordinary volume of work.
and then ends down here in the curves. He was born in 1899, left-handed, and when he went to school, they wouldn't let him be left-handed. They made him learn to write right-handed.
Transitioning from wrought iron to aluminium post-war, Ted created two of these chairs, one for himself and one for his wife. This chair, made in the late 1920s, showcases a continuous hoop of aluminium that epitomizes the essence of modernism. Though aluminium was newly adopted in America in 1924, Ted was ahead of his time, integrating brass seats and achieving a patina that speaks of its outdoor use. The chair's design, with its rolling capability for ease of movement, reflects a brilliant fusion of form and function. This piece is a testament to Ted Hyde's ingenuity and craftsmanship, and at auction would be valued at
$3,000 to $5,000.
Wow.
A further insurance value can be placed on it in the region of
$7,500. $7,500.
Wow.
Originally thought of to be purely jade artifacts by this guest, these items were procured at a Housing Works thrift shop some years back. Housing Works thrift shop. One of the items, a belt, appears to be made of a softer material than jade, possibly serpentine or soapstone. The belt is also adorned with stylized Quinlong dragons, typical of a Ming-era design, thought of to be a compact by the guest. This other item is a fine example of white jade, intricately carved with auspicious Chinese symbols.
Now the carving is quite interesting. This is a food bat. This is a lovely beaded scrollwork edge. These are shoe medallions, so shoe and food bats.
The item isn't a compact, but actually a belt fitting from the Quinlong period, repurposed with a mirror.
The mirror was never intended for the object.
Really?
The object is a hinged white jade belt fitting.
This jade fitting, dating back to 1760 to 1780, represents the fascinating history of repurposing art in the early 20th century. Despite modifications, these items still retain a high value, and at auction would conservatively fetch
$4,000 to $6,000.
Wow. Wow. I'm impressed.
This charming painting graced the walls of a grandmother's house for many years. After the grandmother's passing, the painting found a new home with her niece in New York. The guest loved the painting and eventually inherited it, making it a 3-generation family treasure.
Watches the sun come up on it every morning. He says the light on it is so beautiful. We both enjoy it.
The painting is dated back to 1920. Combining the label and signature, though difficult to read, the appraiser identified the art as Frank H. Desch. Desch was an impressionist painter influenced by art giants Hawthorne and Chase. His style resembles other artists of the period, particularly Charles Courtney Curran. This painting, oil on canvas, is unique in Desch's work as it features children on a hillside. The original frame is in great condition, with just minor wear. While the value is unknown, it could fetch
$25,000 to $40,000.
Wow.
On a field trip, we skipped and slipped, exploring nature's grip. Locals and tourists visit Boston's Public Garden, the first public botanical garden in America. They come to walk across the bridge and ride the swan boats.
Make way for ducklings.
The story is about a family of ducks and their adventure from the banks of the Charles River to a spot on the lagoon here in the public garden.
Visitors also enjoy the popular duck statues. These bronze statues were created by Nancy Schon. They're from Robert McCloskey's Make Way for Ducklings, published in 1941. It follows ducks to Boston's public garden. It became the official children's book of Massachusetts in 2003. Rare sketches by McCloskey for the book can be found in the Boston Public Library. In December 1960, McCloskey gave the library's children's department 4 sketchbooks. One sketch shows Louisburg Square, resembling the book's final drawing.
Very similar to the finished drawing that's in the book.
McCloskey studied Boston's buildings and streets closely, added the ducklings, and then wrote the story. Another sketch shows the corner of Charles Street and Beacon Street, where the duck family enters the public garden near Schon's bronze ducklings, linking the story to the real place. McCloskey studied live ducklings in his bathtub and studio, capturing their every move to show the true essence of ducklingness. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
Book can sell between $20,000 and $30,000 retail. The sketchbooks are interesting because there's an academic quality to them. I would think a value of maybe between $10,000 and $15,000.
We are presented with a set of furniture inherited by the guest from her father.
My father had a lot of patients who needed medical services and he needed furniture, and barter was the way back in those days.
Judging by their appearance, this furniture was crafted in a Western style. Included in the collection is a table featuring distinctive grain patterns on its surface and medullary rings, which are characteristic of Western craftsmanship. The table is accompanied by 2 benches positioned on either side. Another showcased item is a cupboard adorned with interesting motifs, such as a cactus and a bullfight scene on its lower drawers. Lastly, there is a chair with 4 legs and a cowboy motif on the back. This set of furniture was created with meticulous attention to detail and is estimated to be worth
$10,000 and $15,000.
Yeah, and that's great.
As technology advances, some inventions from the past remain as enigmatic as ever. One such enigma is a mystery clock purchased by a guest at a garage sale. This clock was retailed by the Gobelin Lucerne Company around the early 1900s. It is designed to run for days on a single wind. The case is made of marble and is fitted with brass appointments that hold it together. Interestingly, the dial is a solid silver dish with a gilt wash. There is also a marble frog within the dial, which acts as the clock's hand.
Originally, the time would have been indicated by a tortoise, and the tortoise would have to be made of cork so it could float on top of the water.
This clock, which seemingly defies the laws of physics, would command a value of
Somewhere in the $5,500 price range to about $6,000.
Wow, that's great.
a presentation pipe, both peace and might, a symbol of honor in day and night. A special find from a closet reveals a historic tomahawk. It was given to Samuel Kirkwood, a past Iowa governor. This tomahawk is both a tool and a symbol. It is crafted with a sturdy hickory handle and a brass head adorned with decorative tacks. The tomahawk is made of hardwood, probably ash or hickory for the handle, and brass for the head. This suggests it wasn't used in fights, but made traditionally. The handle has patterns made by filing. The brass tacks come from trade with non-native people, and a blacksmith made the head. It had a leather piece to keep it secure. A hot wire was used to make the hole through the handle, burning out the wood inside it. It shows signs of careful making, with patterns on the wood, and a leather piece to keep it secure. Likely made around the 1870s or 1880s, it has aged well, showing its long history. It's linked to big names like President Garfield and Sitting Bull, adding to its story. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
$12,500.
Wow, okay.
At first glance at the item, we see a piece of sports history. It's part of the goalpost from the Ice Bowl game in 1967. This game was between the Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys. It was played in very cold weather. The game is remembered as one of football's most exciting games. It ended with the Packers winning in the final seconds. The guest told how fans, including their dad, ran onto the field after the game to celebrate. Some fans even took down the goalposts. Their dad used tools to carefully take the section they now own. The artifact, signed by Packers star Jerry Kramer and defensive back Doug Hart, later on was said to be a valuable piece from the stadium. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
$3,000 to $5,000.
Oh, wow.